So here's a brief tour of my mining rig setup. Everything is centralized to my desktop computer here in my office. My custom computer, my pride and joy. Water cool, all that jazz. Yeah. So anyway, I have everything set up through Awesome Miner. Where here you can see I have a total of 8 GeForce GTX 1070s clocked at nearly 4500, running fairly cool at about 78 degrees Celsius, between 73 and 78 degrees Celsius, and a few hardware errors, but fairly steady, averaging unfortunately only about 743 a day or so through Mining Pool Hub. I have a nice hash here set with as an alternative mining pool, but most of the time it moves with it mines with Mining Pool Hub. So anyway, how I access it, I actually just go right into my remote desktop. I have a remote desktop link right there. My remote desktop in, and this is where I run my uTorrent, and I have my BitConnect staking wallet. I have a Burst coin wallet. This is where I also do my Neo staking. Pretty much everything on here. It's also where I house my backups. So yeah. Anyway. So my Awesome Miner. See, this is the main console, the main program that's gonna house my farm. It's gonna manage my farm. From here I can pretty much monitor everything without having this desktop computer on. I can literally turn this off and everything will still be running. And all this is in my basement, so it's as quiet as it can be, and it's in its coolest environment. Here in my office, it's on the second floor of my house, so it gets a little warm. But and how I can actually manage my my mining rig itself by remoting into that as well from my personal server, where I can control the clock speeds with MSI Afterburner. Here you can see that I have it at 80% power. So yeah, it's but yeah, and I'm also building another mining rig, which I can actually control. I can monitor and control everything from here. That's my NAS drive server, my desktop computer here in the office, my mining rig that currently houses 8 GTX 1070 cards, and this is just a work in progress. I'll go ahead and send a wake to land command, and go downstairs and check everything out down there. Okay, so now we're in my basement, and here I have, this is my mining rig, actually, the mining rig number 2 just booted up. I have everything controlled here by a KVM switch. 4 is my NAS drive, where I can and as I'm sure all that looked familiar. Desktop changed, the wallpaper changed a little bit because I'm going from a 3 monitor system down to a 1 monitor now, but yeah. For simplicity's sake. KVM switch. Now this is going to the first mining rig. And I have this one password protected. Alright. See, there we are. This isn't remote desktop or anything. This is just the rig itself. And this is the second mining rig that I'm in the process of making. There are no graphics cards currently connected to this. That's in here in my little tent. Yeah, as you can see, just a standard onboard graphics card so far. But this just booted up from my wake online command from the from my office. These are this top one is my mining rig, my 8 GPU mining rig, and the bottom one is my 40 terabyte server. One of the keys sort of way somewhere in all this. Right, here are my keys. So the server, hard drives. I just take a hard drive here, slide it into the slot, format it if need be, and I can access it. Same set of keys work for my mining rig too. I don't really open this up unless it starts to get too warm. Industrial strength delta fans. So they can. I have GTX 1070 reference cards, or Founders Edition cards. So they're blower style. So I have the cool air coming in from the back. It's kind of a mess back there. So that the cool air gets blown across the motherboard, then into the cards, and then out the back of the cards, which is actually the front of this case. These are set to exhaust, so the hot air, which is very warm, gets exhaust out from here. So I'll close this back up if I can. There I am. And my mining rig tent. I have LED lighting in here, so it's cooler. I can turn up the brightness with a adjustment dial. Video ended abruptly because I hit the 10-minute mark. I'm probably gonna have to edit this a little bit, but so here I have my cooling tent. This is my working project here. The environment itself is based on LED light, so we try to eliminate heat. I have my air conditioner feeding cool air down here to the bottom when I need it, and when that's ready. And these are actually minimal RPMs. I can set them to with this pretty simple fan controller. If I ever need to, I can really pump them up. They can really get the air flowing through here. But obviously, since I don't have any cards in here, I needn't do any of that. Not just yet. But I do have it set up for 8 cards so far, with 2 EVGA Supernova 1200 watt power supplies tied into the Asus B250 Mining Expert. I've read a lot of mixed reviews on it, so I guess we'll just have to see how this works out. So currently I only have 8, but it can go up to, I believe, 19, but only, I believe, 12 of those can be NVIDIA or something to that effect. I'll have to do my homework, but I have up to I can store up to or run up to 14 GPUs with these 2 power supplies with the VGA cables without the use of any kind of a splitter. So I'm quite satisfied with that. These fans do take up a little bit of just a few watts. I believe they're about 15 watts each, peaking at about 1.4 amps each. So they take up a little bit. So I have them connected to their own separate mullets from one of the power supplies, and the board is going off of this power supply because that's where the that's the power supply that feeds the CPU power and the power to the board. For whatever reason, I can only use this DIMM slot. As soon as I try putting anything at all into this one here, the board won't even post. So I don't know if I have a faulty board or if I just have a bad selection of RAM or what. I have several sticks of Kingston HyperX Fury style DDR4 RAM, and it doesn't make any difference. They all do the same thing. It just won't post. But this is my work in progress so far. My collection of cables when I'm ready. I have a spare GPU, just a cheap Roswell 650, just in case I need it for whatever. For cooling, I have this smart things, temperature monitor. But I have this, well, actually, probably be better off to just show. I have this set to an exhaust, just a exhaust blower fan. So the idea is to take all the hot air that gets pushed out of these cards and gets exhausted from here and gets blown out there. Now I have it set to kick on at about 85 degrees. Temperature probes here up top. So if I hold it, you can hear it starts to rev up a little bit. And once it gets at 100 degrees Fahrenheit, which is, I doubt it's going to do, since I don't think my body heat is that warm, but it starts beeping as a warning. I'm not sure if this tent is going to get that warm. Well, you never know. Yeah, I don't think it's going to get any hotter than 92. But yeah, just take my word for it. It'll start beeping. Oh, well, 93. Well, still ways to go to 100. But yeah, I can. This is just a work in progress. I soon hope to get 8 of the GTX 11 series, the Turing cards in here. And hopefully start mining something good here pretty soon. I have a kilowatt in here, so I'm running off of 120 volts. I'm currently only drawing half an amp, but I don't have any cards in here, not yet anyway. Now, safety-wise, here's the thing. I have a smart plug there, Samsung smart plug, and I have my router, my Arlo system, and I have one there as well. That's for this mining rig. Now, here's the deal. There is my smoke detector. It's a First Alert SmartThings compatible smart detector, smoke detector. I can't really get a good shot at it from this angle. Anyway, you get the idea. So, if there is any kind of a smoke that is serious enough for that to be detected, I'm actually thinking about moving it probably around there so it's centralized. But I'm also considering putting this inside. I don't know yet. That's a lot of work because this weighs about 500 pounds. It's pretty heavy. But if that detects smoke, it kills the power on these smart outlets, effectively turning off the mining rigs. And it's also handy because I can monitor the wattage from those outlets as well from my phone. So yeah, work in progress. We'll see how it goes.